What's up, everybody? Nikolai Puchlov here with Pro Kettlebell, and today I wanted to show you the right and the wrong way to chalk a kettlebell. So I've got 3 kettlebells here, and 2 of them have chalk on them already. And so if you really want to do a professional job, you want to start with bare handles, okay? So all you need here is one of these green Scotch-Brite pads, and then normally I would do this inside the prep bucket here. The prep bucket holds like your towels and your Scotch-Brite pads and your water or whatever. And if you do it inside the prep bucket, you'll keep the dust and everything inside that bucket, and then it's really easy to clean up. But so you guys can see it, I'm gonna do it outside of the prep bucket. I've seen people do this. I've seen people prep their kettlebell handles inside of a clean chalk bowl. Never do that, because then all your chalk dust or metal dust is going to wind up inside your chalk, and it's going to contaminate it, and you're not going to want to use it. All right, so for this sake, I'm doing it outside of the prep bucket and just have a green Scotch-Brite pad. And as you can see, it makes really quick work of that chalk here. Boom. All right, down to bare. And let's knock this one out too, because I'm going to use this for an example. Now I always keep a shop vac handy. I'm going to be able to clean this up. And this actually has a little bit of surface rust on it. And this is also by 3M, and this is a stripping pad. You can cut them into small strips, and this will take off any rust if you have any rust. If you have a really rusty handle, this will take it down. As a matter of fact, I'll get a really rusty handle here. Here's a really rusty handle, because I never use this kettlebell anymore. But as you can see, that's taking it down to the bare metal. It's going to take a little bit more elbow grease than I have time for, but that will work for you. All right, let's get this out of here. We're not going to use that anymore. Okay, so you've got your clean, bare handles. Make sure your hands are clean of any rust or chalk dust here. So here's the right way to do it. You've got a bare handle, it's nice and clean, your hands are nice and clean and dry. Get my hands nice and warm here, and then you need a quality chalk. Okay, not all chalk is the same. You're gonna break off a little piece, coat those hands so they're nice and white, like you're wearing cotton gloves here. And then you just work the entire length of the handle. The nice things about these ones is they have a little bit of texture, so it actually grabs that chalk a little bit better. And then you just apply a little bit of friction, pressure, and that chalk will stick to that handle. If you have drier hands or you're in a drier climate, you might need to use a little bit more time, a little bit more friction to get it to stick, but this is working really good. And this is because this is a sample block of chalk that I got from a US factory. This is USA made chalk. It's the only one I know of. We're gonna start carrying it pretty soon, but it is lab grade chalk, so it's like 99.9% pure. It makes a big difference. I can do it with, you know, cheaper Chinese made chalk, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer. It's kind of a roll of the dice what you get when you buy it, you know, like spree chalk or, you know, cheaper chalk. You'll eventually be able to get it to work, but the higher grade chalk. Just, you need to use less of it and it works a little faster. Okay, so that's definitely acceptable. If I were doing this in a competition, I would probably work the handles, the horns down a little bit more, but that looks really good. I'd be ready to go with that. Now here's the wrong way to chalk a kettlebell. This is what I see a lot of beginners doing, and just inexperienced people. They'll go ahead and they'll wet their hands. This is definitely an easier way to do it, but the result is not as good. So they have wet hands, and then they transfer that moisture from their wet hands to the handle. Now this is going to do a couple of things. You get that moisture onto the handle here, which is going to help that chalk adhere both to your hands and to the handle, but it's also going to trap that moisture underneath that layer of chalk. So if you don't take that chalk off right away, that kettlebell handle is going to begin to rust underneath the chalk. You won't even notice it until the rust gets really bad and it starts to come through. That's like this handle here. Someone had wet chalked that, left the handle like that, and it just started to rust underneath all that chalk. And anyways, I wish you guys could feel the difference, but this is soft to the touch. In this, because the chalk came in contact with the water, and it hardened almost like a concrete. And this is super abrasive on the hands, and it does the opposite of what you want it to do. A good chalk job will give you the right amount of slip and the right amount of grip. Where this, it's really abrasive, and it'll actually cause your hands to tear faster than if you had nothing on there at all. And the other thing is, it doesn't stay on that well. You can actually rub it off with your fingers, where this actually stays on a bit better. Now there's another situation you'll encounter, and that's like sometimes you'll show up at a competition or a gym and they're letting you use chalk. We're just assuming they let you use chalk, and there'll be this shiny clear coat on the handles. And I hate that kettlebell companies do this, but they do this to keep the handles looking nice when they're being transported overseas. They put this clear coat over the handles. It works well to keep the rust down, but it burns up your hands and it doesn't hold chalk very well at all. And you know, it rubs right off. And so if you're going to be buying these types of kettlebells, you'll need to go ahead and either use a sandpaper and take it all off, which takes a lot of time, or you can buy this stuff. I like citrus strip. You basically paint it on with a paintbrush. It's non-toxic. You can even do it indoors. And you let it sit for like 20-30 minutes, and then you can wipe it off with a paper towel and you throw them away. You have to wear gloves. You have to tape off the painted parts so you don't take off the paint too, but that'll work to strip it down to bare metal. So there's the right and the wrong way to chalk your kettlebell handles. I hope this is helpful for you. If you're a huge wet chalk proponent, please tell me why, and you know, maybe I can be convinced otherwise, but I definitely feel like the dry chalk method is the best. I get the best results out of it, and it drives me nuts when I see people wet chalking and prepping their kettlebells inside of a clean chalk bucket, because it just ruins the chalk for the next person who wants to come by and use it. So keep your tools clean, keep your kitchen clean. All right, I'm Nikolai Puchlap. I hope this video has been informative. We'll talk to you later. Bye.